Is it just me, or did coding used to be hard? Like, generally hard. And I know that sounds obvious, but stay with me for a second, because like I don't mean hard like, oh, it takes a long time to learn, because that's a given. I mean difficult, like you could spend 3 hours looking for a bug and it turns out you had an extra curly bracket. One character, 3 hours from your life gone just because of that one curly bracket. And you know what's even more crazy? I honestly miss that. I miss the frustration, because I think that's what made coding feel like something. That's what made it feel like a craft. And I think a lot of developers feel the same way right now, but no one's really saying it. So let me say it. So this developer posted this on X and it went absolutely viral. I think it had over like 1 million views. And he said, the skill I spent tens of thousands of hours getting good at, programming, is now becoming a full commodity extremely quickly. There's something disheartening about the thing you spent most of your life getting good at now being mostly useless. Over 7,000 people like that because they felt it themselves. Let me talk more about what I mean. When I was learning JavaScript like 10 years ago, your code was delicate, like generally delicate. One extra parentheses, broken. You're missing a comma in an object, broken. And don't even get me started on Python with the spacing. Like you literally had to be precise with just spaces or your code wouldn't run. Your spaces, okay? That's how delicate it was. And then every developer watching this right now knows exactly what I'm talking about. I know you've been there, looking for that one thing that's breaking everything. And then the cool part is like when you find it, and even if it's just something so small, like a missing semicolon, or you misspelled a variable name, which happened to me a lot, by the way, that moment when you finally find the bug, that was the high. But the thing is, that feeling, it's gone now. And the thing is, I know other developers are feeling the exact same thing. There's this developer that posted on X, and he said, I still remember spending hours trying to figure out why a simple script wasn't running, only to realize I missed a semicolon. It was slow, it was frustrating. AI makes writing code faster now, but it's not as fun as it was earlier. That's it right there. It's not as fun anymore. Now look, I'm not saying there's no struggle anymore, because there is a struggle, but it's completely different now. The struggle now is my prompt doing too much? Is my prompt even doing the right thing? Like, I'll tell AI to do literally one thing and it changes 10 other things I didn't ask it to touch. And now I got to figure out what it broke, which is the different kind of frustrating. So what I'm trying to say is it's not the same, because you're not hard coding anything anymore. And like, you're not being precise with your code, but instead you need to be precise with your words. And like, yeah, prompt engineering is a skill, right? It really is. I'm not gonna pretend it's not, but it just doesn't hit the same way as hard coding everything. It just doesn't. There's this one post that literally sums this up perfectly. And he said, I have lost meaning. Nothing feels difficult anymore. The craft isn't dead, but it's slowly being asked to wait in the corner. That's exactly what I feel like. The craft is still there, but it's not the same thing anymore. So for me, I think this is where it really gets personal. In the last 6 months, I've built 7 AI projects. 7. And they're not simple projects either. For example, my latest project, SpeakToMe.io, I'll put a link in the description below. It has a 3-layer memory architecture system built in TypeScript. Like, we're talking about real intricate production level system. And it's generally like one of the most complex things I've ever been a part of building. And notice I said part of building, because I don't feel like I built it. Like, I'm proud of it. I'm generally incredibly proud of it, but Claude Code built it. Opus built it. Cursor helped build it. And yeah, they couldn't have done it without me. I was the one telling it what to do. I was the one correcting it when it went the wrong direction. When I saw the code and how bad it was, I was the one making the architectural decisions. But even though doing all of that, I still feel like I'm cheating. I still feel like I'm lying to the world when I say I built it, because I don't write the code line by line anymore. I didn't sit there line by line crafting this thing with my own hands. And I think that's the difference. That's what you lose. You lose that moment where you ship something and you know deep in your gut that every single piece of it came from you. That feeling is gone now. Now you're more like a product manager than a developer. And I think that's a really weird and uncomfortable thing to say about yourself when your whole identity was being a developer that could write the most complicated code out there. Now, before you think this is all doom and gloom, let me flip it, because I'd be lying if I said AI didn't make me better in a lot of ways. I'm a front-end developer. Like, that's my lane, right? That's always been my lane. But because of AI, I can now also understand audio architecture. I can learn the differences between why you'd use a 3072 dimension embedding versus a 1536 or a 512 embedding for different use cases. I'm learning about things that would have taken me years to get into on my own. And that is a trade-off, right? Like, I lost precision of handwriting every line, but I gained the ability to build things I never could have imagined. Things I never would have even tried because they were too far outside my skill set. So coding used to be hard, and that was the point. The difficulty was the craft. The frustration was a teacher. The struggle was what made you feel like you earned that title of a developer or senior or staff or principal. And now the struggle is different. It's not gone, okay? It's not gone. It just changed shape. You're not debugging a missing semicolon at 2 a.m. in the morning. You're not reviewing AI output and making sure it didn't hallucinate something into your production code. You're now reviewing AI output and making sure it didn't hallucinate something into your production code. It's a different kind of hard, but if I'm being real, it doesn't feel the same, and I don't think it ever will. But here's what I'll say to everyone watching, especially if you're new to this or an aspiring developer. Don't be discouraged. Like, I know this sounds discouraging, okay? I know hearing a developer with 10 plus years of experience say they don't feel like the same way about coding is scary. But this is where the world is going. This is a new path. And honestly, you can now learn in months what used to take 5 to 10 years to learn. You can now build things that used to be completely out of reach. You can now build things that would take a team of 30 engineers to do together. And this shift isn't going to be gradual. Like, one engineer recently posted that every developer he's talked to recently hasn't handwritten code since November. They've all moved to Claude Code. I mean, check out my GitHub repo right here. He said some big inflection point was hit in the last 3 months, and I agree. We're in it right now. So yeah, coding used to be hard. That was the point. But the new point is, what do you build with it? We need to adjust, adapt, and change. If not, I'm sorry, you're going to fall behind. And that's just where we are now.